Good evening, everybody. This has to be Mr. O here, host of the amazing show, and welcome. And my apologies on this one. I got to make it up to y'all over this. Welcome to another episode, although it's still a day delayed, but that's all right. This is another episode, and in the famous words of Professor Black Truth, I'm just going to say it like he says it. It has happened again. As another ongoing dilemma in the self-inflicted genocide of white-on-white crime. On my show, what I call it, WTF, White Thug Friday. And the person, I want y'all to listen to this. It happened right here, once again, my home state of Florida. Getting more and more like California. But you know, I'm on the go here, so I'm not at the Terradome. But I want y'all to listen to this audio from the video where they were talking about the shooting that happened up in Sanford. Yes, that same Sanford where George Zimmerman murdered our young brother, Trayvon Martin. The same Sanford that was founded by William Sanford, a slave owner. So I just want y'all to listen to this, and I'm going to come back with my commentary or go along with it to break it down.
Of just what this street looks like. It's a dead-end street with a total of 10 houses. One of the neighbors turned victims told that man to slow down, and that's when deputies say things took a violent turn.
It's just trying to figure out why. That's all I want to know is why.
The why is all Bobby Britton is searching for.
I don't know their name till just now, whenever I read the police report.
On Sunday, Britton was fixing a truck in his front yard when he says 22-year-old Andrew Garofolo came speeding down this dead-end street. When Garofolo turned around, Britton yelled at him to slow down. That's when deputies say Garofolo pulled out a pistol and started shooting.
The car turned around, come flying back down the road, swerved at me. I threw the breaker bar at him. When he swerved at me, he threw the pistol in the air and started shooting.
Britton says 3 children, including his daughter, were all outside playing as the shots were fired. The youngest child, just 1 year old. Bullets hit 2 trucks, including this one with a broken headlight.
I was standing right there where he's at, ducking bullets.
And then several neighbors followed Garofolo to this home on Margaret Road. Inside, he allegedly told the homeowner he, quote, shot some rednecks. While in the courtroom today, the 22-year-old made faces and gestures at our camera. Minutes later, the judge decided to keep him in jail until his arraignment in January. And Britton is keeping his opinion of the suspect to himself. If you could say something to him, what would you say?
I'd rather not stay over camera.
Garofolo is facing 5 charges tonight, 3 of which are aggravated child abuse for allegedly firing the gun near those children. There was also a passenger in his car, but he has not been arrested. We're live in Seminole County tonight. Cuthbert Langley, Channel 9.
Okay. Yeah, that's what happened there in Sanford, Florida. Now, the story that really broke out about this whole thing, and I'll go ahead and I'll read it to you. You know, see, none of this don't really surprise me, not one doggone bit. You know, this is sort of the irrational behavior of when you got whites acting like the new niggers these days. You know, ever since President-elect Orange won the election. Now, I wish I could show the video to you on Spreaker, and I'll be glad when Spreaker start doing, like, you can be able to do video, channel, live video, whatever like that. Hopefully that's coming along and stuff, because you've seen the arrogance of this 22-year-old punk, you know, making little faces, throwing up what are nothing more than just little hand signals, aka gang signs or whatever. Yeah, but this all happened here, right there in an all-white neighborhood. And I'm gonna tell you something. I grew up in Central Florida. Well, luckily I grew up where part of me was raised. Part of my upbringing was raised in Central Florida, particularly Orlando. Sanford is like a few miles outside of Orlando, and from so I don't even know what's going on with that, because he feel like he was shooting at some rednecks, which it was. It's nothing but an old little backwater redneck town. That's all it is. But that's the irrational behavior, public disturbance, disorderly conduct. If you look on that chart, that FBI crime in the U.S. chart, table 43, you see whites leading that in majority, 74.5%. It's not coming from anywhere else. It ain't coming from anybody else. Just only happen to be white people. But see, they really showing their behinds now. Now that Trump is going to be sworn in. But see, a lot of that is going to be backfired, which is another reason, which brings me up to another thing, because not only that happened in Sanford, but you also had something else that went down there too. And this involved like a Sanford sheriff's deputy. Well, not Sanford, but actually it was a Seminole County sheriff's deputy. Official Seminole County deputy shot, killed girlfriend in a murder-suicide. Yes, and they're white. Okay? A Seminole County deputy shot and killed his girlfriend before turning the gun on himself Friday night. Daniel Carrero, 40, and Misty Reynolds, 33, were found dead in a vehicle behind a Speedway gas station near U.S. Highway 192 and Shady Lane. Whew. Friday evening. Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Lasawani said, clerk at the gas station found the couple, called authorities. Carrero, 16-year Sheriff's Office veteran and worked in the digital forensic unit. Nothing else was released about deaths, included what led to the shooting and whether Carrero used his department-issued weapon. Nothing else was released. Sorry about that. The gas station is just south of Florida's turnpike between Kissimmee and St. Cloud. Last year, Carrero was honored by Sanford Police Chief and Token Coon Cecil Smith after helping nab a suspect accused of burglarizing a pizzeria several times. Carrero did undercover surveillance to help catch the thief. The Seminole checked back for updates on this breaking news story. Well, now when it comes down to cops, mostly white cops, one of the main things that they often do is the suicide rate. Cops always saying that they got the most stressful jobs out there. They got this, they got it. When truth and reality, they really don't. So I really don't know where that comes from. But one of the causes of police deaths is this, murder-suicide. Because I don't know any cop, particularly the ones that want to try to be all tactical vest up, dressed up like they going to war, ready, being so ready for battle, like they going for putting some work on Call of Duty, but their social life absolutely sucks, And see, Seminole County Sheriff's Department is no different than it is from the Sanford Police Department. But again, this happens to be another case white on white crime, you know. Because like I said, 84% of the crimes in this country, committed in this country, happen to be by white people, and the victims happen to be white. Of course, if you listen to the mainstream media, guided, of course, by the, CNN, FAUX News, the New York Times, the Washington Post, they will be ready to quick to tell you that it's black people the one who commits the most crimes. They commit the most violent crimes. But yet, though, we're only 13% of the population, per se. White people are 60% of the population, but they commit 70% of them are arrested. But the problem is only 35% of them get to see it inside of a jail cell. Okay? If you're 60% of the population, and they are 70% of the ones arrested committing the crimes, wouldn't it make more sense for them to be sitting inside the jail cells? No, of course not. Because they want to go by the new thing, I'm white and I say so. That sort of thing. But then, of course, like I say, Professor Black Truth and Jason Black always say that the mainstream media is the propaganda arm for white supremacy. And propaganda resonates opinion. Now, these two stories don't surprise me whatsoever. And, of course, with this recent one with Carrera, I'm looking at the picture now, him getting an award from Sanford Police Coon Chief, Coon Cecil, what the hell his name is? Cecil Coon Smith, who came down there by the way of Chicago after George Zimmernuts got off of murdering Trayvon Martin. And notice that how these clowns have never followed up on that. But the one thing with Garofolo, is no surprise to me. Because that's how they get down up there in Sanford. Just exactly like that. But then I'm pretty sure somebody's going to come up here and talk about saying, oh, what about black on black crime? Blacks commit more crimes like that too. Yeah. Tell me something. Send me a new one. But this is what happens. And the one with Carrera like this, most police officers, they normally are not too bright up there. You could tell a lot of them sat on their short yellow school bus and really cannot handle a social life. They can't handle the fact of staying in a relationship. Because obviously with this situation, she probably wanted to get up and move on and go leave him and go their separate ways. And he probably wouldn't let her do it. That's how I feel about that. Because he feels like, well, if I can't have you, then nobody can have you. And then he kills her. And then he takes the coward way out. Instead of facing his consequences like a man, he turns around and turns the gun on himself. He took the punk way out. I may sound cold as ice, and I really don't care. But I ain't getting no sympathy for a man who goes ahead here and commits suicide because after he kills somebody the opposite gender. But, as I always say, this is another tragedy in the ongoing self-inflicted genocide of white-on-white crime. Shoot, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this one short because I apologize to my subscribers for not showing up on this on White Thugs Friday, but this one is going to be made up on because I'm following up some other stories. But y'all just go ahead and stay tuned. Stay tuned come Monday for the Monday O report. I got a doozy on that one. Tuesday night text will be back, and so on and so forth. But if you want to check out the link for the FBI 2015-2016 FBI crime in the United States crime table, table 43. I got the link right there in the description for those on YouTube, or you can go to any of my previous videos where I talk about White Thugs Friday. The link's there too. So you can check that out, and you can use that to your advantage. So therefore, when you got these hate trolls that want to come there and want to try to argue with you, oh, well, black people commit the most crimes, blah, 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 you just show them that and shut them up. Because just like as Tariq Nasheed has done, he's already got the white supremacists already afraid of him. I'm not going to be the type to go ahead and go and debate you. But at the same time, I'm a pretty damn good chess player myself. With that said, I'm your host, Mr. O, signing off.